grace. We will be practicing a Yin Asana this morning, which is a more restorative and gentle yoga practice. And we're going to be focusing on stretching and restoring. And not only the body, but also restoring and stretching the mind. I'm so happy you're here. So it'll be about an hour practice, and this is a time for you to be with you. So it's time to take the to-do lists and all the concerns and worries about the world and let those go out the window for an hour and bring your focus in on just being with yourself and giving yourself this self-love. Time to be with your body and be with you, and all that focus coming in towards yourself. This is your practice, and as long as you're on the mat, anytime you need to rest or go into savasana or seated pose is fine. Honor your body. We never go into pain in yoga. It's we always stay in that feels so good zone in our bodies. So we're going to play the edge. We're not going to pull that rubber band out and stretch it. We're not forcing. This isn't a gym, or not. We're not trying out for the Olympics or training for the Olympics, and we're also not going to be that loose rubber band that's just sitting on the couch eating potato chips. We're going to be giving a little effort, staying in that nice playing the edge feeling, kind of maybe with a regular yoga, I might say 7, but maybe a 5 or a 6 at the most here with Yin. I invite you to gently close your eyes and bring your awareness inward into your heart, into your inner being. And take this moment to scan inside, scan the body, scan the inner energy, scan the emotions, and just check in and notice where you're at. No judgment, just noticing, witness consciousness without judgment, observation without judgment. And take this time to scan inside and notice that inner landscape, just noticing the emotional, physical, and energetic being. And take this time now to set an intention for yourself. So, still anchoring deep inside the being and seeing if some heart's desire, something that you like to manifest, maybe a closer connection to God or to a human being, whatever it is that you desire. Create that intention, stating it in the positive, and state it as present moment reality now, so that we can invite the subconscious that does not know. Hears exactly what it hears, and if you state it in the present, it is much quicker to manifest in the physical realm. So stating that intention to yourself now, and taking a minute after you state it, you might repeat it a couple times, and then feel those emotions and see some visions of you actually living that intention. And setting that intention out to the universe with a this or better, this or better, this or better. Sometimes the universe has a plan we haven't even imagined, that our mind can't even conceive, that is even better than what we think of. But we reach for the highest possibility and then release it to the universe, the God of your understanding. And gently opening your eyes. Beautiful. And we're going to do some neck rolls, some nice gentle neck rolls, and maybe any point if you need to do a little massage, any tension anywhere. And just listening to your body nice and slowly. And we're going to continue to breathe into the belly throughout this practice. And we may occasionally be engaging the bandhas. And so the bandhas, there's 3 bandhas. All 3, engaging all 3 together, is the Mala Bandha. And the 3 bandhas are the pelvic floor. That's the Mula Bandha. We're going to engage that gently and bring it up. The energy's coming up. And then the Uddiyana Bandha brings us right here to the lower abdomen. We're going to engage and we're going to bring that up so we can breathe underneath that into our lower belly. Jarandala Bandha comes in and the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. So we'll be engaging those bandhas occasionally. Those are energy locks. And going the other direction or moving in some spontaneous movements. Just opening up that neck, stretching those neck muscles a little bit. Keeping that breath flowing. Deeply connected to the body. Coming back up to center. We're going to move into a little side stretch. So I'm going to bring my right hand down to the earth here and bring the left arm up. Just feel a nice opening of that left side body. You can bend that right elbow to bring in a little more stretch. Honoring your body where you're at. And go over to the other side. Let's do some nice subtle stretching today. Feel that side body stretching and opening as we allow the body to stretch, the mind to stretch. And then let's just come forward for a moment and do a little forward fold. Feel that stretch in your lower back and you can round that spine. Moving side to side a little bit. And feeling a stretch in that lower back. Just moving at your own pace. Feeling the sensations, the stretch. Keeping the breath flowing. And enjoying the sensations. Stretching the body, stretching the mind. Stretching the mind out of familiar rigid patterns. Stretching the mind to possibilities that you couldn't even imagine. The different ways of being. Keeping that breath flowing. And coming back to center and then coming up. Beautiful job. Bringing the hands to the knees. Let's do our circles around the pelvis. Feeling the sensations, taking your time. You need to massage a certain spot that feels a little sensation. Do that. Honoring your body. Keeping the breath flowing. And go in the other direction. Honoring all the beautiful sensations of moving and flowing in your body. And then creating any little spontaneous movements. And coming back to center, let's move into a little cat-cow. We move into our cow. We're going to arch that back, open up the chest, shoulders, come back, gently lifting the head as we inhale. Exhale, we're going to round the back, bringing the head in to look at the belly and the thighs. And stretch out those arms. Stretch out the upper back as well. Just moving back and forth into your extension in your cow and flexion in your cat. Moving that spine. Noticing sensations. And breathing. Keeping that breath flowing in the lower belly throughout the whole practice. You want to add some spontaneous movements now. Rocking back and forth a little bit. Moving the body. Use it or lose it. You've got to use the body and move the body to obtain that sacred embodiment. You can't become embodied in this body temple without using it. You can't just put it on a shelf and expect our consciousness to embody it. So the more we can move in it and be connected to it, the more we are embodied in this body. Treating it as beautifully as we possibly can, putting nutritious foods in it, taking good care of it, and honoring it as that temple for our soul, for divine consciousness to move and flow and animate through. So we're going to put those feet together. We love the Baddha Konasana. Flap those butterfly wings, opening up those hip joints a little bit, warming up the body. And starting to slow down. And then feel those knees and legs come down towards the earth. Inhaling as you lengthen the spine and lift the head. And exhale, hinging forward at the hips. Feel that nice hinge, opening of the hips. And find your edge here. And once you have rested on your edge, let's take one deep breath as we're resting on this nice edge. Engage the bandhas if you like. And see if you can hinge maybe a micro movement more deeper. Beautiful. And let's allow the hands to come down to the earth. Allow the head to come down. And take a few breaths in this nice deep forward fold. Going in, connecting deeply with the self. And gently and kindly coming up. Beautiful job. Let's bring those legs out straight. And let's flop them a little bit, release them and relax them. Windshield wiper the feet. Beautiful. We're going to do a single leg forward fold, then a double leg forward fold, bringing a nice stretch to these back leg muscles. Hamstrings here, and then our calves with the gastrocnemius muscle. We're going to stretch. A nice stretch. So feeling that stretch, and as we're stretching the body, we're also bringing in intention to stretching the mind. So let's have that left foot straight out, right foot in, right sole of the foot resting on the inner thigh of the left foot. And we go into that forward fold. We're going to allow that left foot to flex and extend. So let's inhale and elongating and lengthening that spine. Feel the head just reaching up towards the heavens. And exhale, folding forward. Finding your edge here. And holding that edge with a breath. And see if you can hinge a micro bit more in the hip. And then when you feel you're resting on that final edge, round the spine, you can bring the hands down. Feel that nice stretch on the back leg muscles. You can massage this front foot. Always massaging it as this sacred foot, this part of this sacred body temple that we have. You can also do some flexing and extending of the foot to bring in more sensation. Feel that stretch different ways. Keeping the breath flowing in the belly, keeping present to the self. Allowing the mind to stretch along with the body. Opening up possibilities you haven't even considered. Opening up to the possibility that there's so many possibilities that you don't even know that are right before you right now. And all you need to do is get vibrationally matched with them, and they will arise. Infinite possibilities all around you. Possibilities your mind cannot even imagine. That your mind doesn't even know exists, but are there. Taking that mind from the swimming pool, bumping up against the edges, to opening up to an ocean of possibility. And coming up. We're going to switch legs. When I moved across the country to Utah from Massachusetts, a week before I came to Utah, I didn't even know that Utah existed. So I actually created an opportunity, a possibility in my life that my mind didn't even know existed. I'm sure I studied Utah in 4th grade when we did the states, but it wasn't on my mind. It was one of those states that lost existence in my mind. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, forward fold. Feeling a nice stretch, back legs. Finding that first edge, taking a nice deep breath. Engage your bandhas in this if you like. And see if you can hinge a little bit deeper in that hip. And when you've found your final edge, allow the spine to round, the head to come in towards the feet. And again, massage that sacred foot. knowing your foot is the most sacred foot in the world to you. Your soul power, your individual unique frequency and vibration that is emanating from Creator Source. A very unique vibration that is your soul is animating through. Its consciousness is animating through this body. All extensions of God, universe, source, all unique in vibration. No two soul vibrations are identical. Can be close, twin flames, and soul families, but never identical. And releasing that head down, can flex and extend that foot for more sensation. Breathing into the belly. And gently and kindly coming up. Let's bring both legs out and let's bring them out wide. So we can do a forward fold and then move side to side. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, hinging forward. And when you get to your edge, allowing the spine to round and just breathing into this nice deep twist, this nice deep stretch. Forward fold. Forward folds invite us to go inward, to allow yourself to go deeply in, connecting with the self, the inner being, inner aliveness, and engage those bonds gently. We're going to move over to one side or the other. You choose which side. And a nice stretch on either side. You can even bend that knee a little bit and straighten it out. Breathing into the belly. Feeling that stretch. Flex and extend that foot. And moving over to the other side. And feeling a nice stretch on this side. Keeping that breath flowing. Bond is gently engaged. You may want to flex and extend this foot for more stretch, more sensation. And then coming back to center and coming back up. Beautiful. And we're going to bring those legs together. We're going to come into a nice table position. Moving into our cat-cow. Cow, we inhale as we arch the back, the tailbone sticks up and lifting the head and the heart. Extension of the spine. And then cow as we tuck, cat as we tuck the tailbone under round the back. Flexion of the spine. It's going back and forth and adding some micro movements if you like. When you're in cow, if you like, when you're in cat, if you like to come back, bring those hips back and feel a nice stretch on the lower back. Moving side to side a little bit. Keeping the breath flowing. Moving into your cow. You might want to wag that tail a little bit. Sensations. Moving buttocks around a little. So moving back and forth in your cat-cow, adding some spontaneous movements, maybe even some circles with the hips as you move back into cat. Make sure to go both directions if you can. Having fun in the pose. Noticing sensations. Fully present in the body, bringing all your awareness to body sensation. If thinking arises, just let that go and let yourself know this is a time to just be with the self. You're in a state of being, not thinking. And you'll come back to thinking for sure. Right now, we're just being with ourselves, stretching the body, stretching the mind, restoring the body, restoring the mind. And when you're ready at any point, let's move into a child's pose. Just go into a few minutes of relaxation and restoring. You can open up those knees a little bit, toes together, and allow the belly to sink in and relax. And gently and kindly coming up from your child's pose, and we're going to move into an up dog. Just hinging into up dog, and then moving back into child's pose. Just finding your own pace as you hinge back and forth at your own rhythm. Keeping the breath flowing. Noticing sensation in the body. Maybe adding a few little micro movements and spontaneous movements. And moving back into child's pose again. Taking a few breaths here as you're allowing mind, body, and spirit to restore and relax. And gently coming up. And we're going to come onto our backs. We'll roll around on our backs a little bit. Let's begin by bringing those knees into the chest and just hugging those knees into the chest for a moment and rocking back and forth. And let's drop that right leg. Right knee is up, right foot is on the mat. Bring the left ankle to rest on the right leg. You're going to make somewhat of a figure four here. Lift that right foot off the mat. Bring the right knee towards the body. Clasp the hands behind that right hamstring and gently pulling that right leg in as you feel that nice hip opener in our supine pigeon. And engage those bandhas and breathe, finding your edge here for a nice gentle opening of the hips, stretching of the hip, the hamstrings on that left side. One more nice deep breath here. And then we exhale, releasing the leg back to the mat. We're going to switch legs. So bringing that left foot to the mat, left knee up, resting that right ankle on the left knee, lifting that left foot up, bringing the left leg in, clasping the hands behind the left hamstring, and gently pulling the leg in towards the body, feeling a nice hip opening and stretch on that right side. And gently engaging the bandhas, and let's bring in the prana and life force with the breath. Fully present to sensations, fully present to yourself and your body. One more nice deep breath. Releasing that leg down on your exhale. And let's bring both feet to the floor. Knees are up, but let's bring the knees together. Let's just rest here for a few breaths in your hands where it feels most relaxed, and just sinking deep into the inner being, noticing the aliveness within. Beautiful job. And let's bring those legs up. Let's bring a hand on behind either hamstring if you can, and let's open those legs out, feeling a nice stretch on the inner thighs. And if you can bring the hands up a little further, up to the calves, bringing the legs in towards the body a little bit, feeling a nice stretch on the lower back and the inner thighs, the legs. Engaging those bandhas and breathe. And let's bend those feet in together into our Baddha Konasana. Pulling those feet in towards the body, feeling a nice opening of the hips, stretching of the hips. Engaging the bandhas and breathing. Beautiful. And let's bring the hands around each foot. We're not in baby, we're just bringing the knees in, but we're nice and wide. And let's pull those knees in towards the body, feeling that stretch. The hips, and we're back a little. And breathe. Let's take that left leg and let's bring that over to the side. Feeling a nice stretch, moving that leg around. Just the left for right now. Opening it and stretching. Keeping that knee bent. And then moving more spontaneous if you'd like to open that leg. And bend it. Feeling what feels good for you here. Just playing around this left leg. I'm going to open it all the way up and stretch it and pull it in. Bending it again. Just noticing what feels good for you as you move and flow. Stretching and opening this left leg. Spontaneous movements. Flex and extend that foot a little bit. Maybe even some circles with the foot. You could go both directions if you're going to circle. Just feeling the stretch and the opening. That left leg. Beautiful job. And let's move over to the right leg. Beginning to move that hip around. The leg and the knees. Finding some nice stretching and movements. Staying in that feels so good, fully present to the sensations in your body. Staying in that state of being. You notice you go into thinking, just move back into that state of being, that state of observation. fully immersed in the sensations in your body. And gently engage those bandhas and breathe in the belly. Playing around with this right leg now. You can maybe feel like you want to open it up a little bit and stretch it. Flex and extend the foot here. Maybe some circles. The foot, circling that ankle. Going the other direction. Opening and stretching. And keep that prana flowing and the breath moving. Beautiful. Let's bring hands, knees back. Let's move into Baddha Konasana again for a moment. Bringing those feet together. Pulling those feet in towards the body gently. And breathing. And opening up the legs again. Wide. Gently pulling them in. Feeling a nice stretch on both legs. Flex and extend those feet. And back to center. And we're going to move into a nice twist, a supine twist. So we're going to extend that left leg out straight. Right knee is up, right foot's on the floor. And let's come on to that left side just an inch, bringing the right knee over to the left. Left hand on the right knee, guiding that over. So find that nice gentle edge. Right arm and hand is stretched out 90 degrees, and we're going to turn the head to gaze out over the right fingertips. So we're moving that spine, twisting it, the cervicals, thoracic, and lumbar. Engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe and relax in this nice deep twist. I invite you now to move that right knee a little bit, some spontaneous movements. You can center the head if you like, just feeling a little bit of movement in that right leg. Bringing some different sensations. Honoring your body, always staying in the feel so good zone. And then releasing the knee and coming back to center. And we're going to move on to the other side. So extending that right leg out. Coming up onto that right side just a little bit. Bringing the left knee over to the right. Right hand on the left knee. Finding your gentle edge. Always staying in the feel so good. Bringing those left hands out 90 degrees and turning the head to gaze out over the left fingertips. And closing the eyes and sinking deeply into this nice deep twist. Beautiful sensations. Fully present with yourself. And that stretch and opening of the body and the mind. More expanded possibilities. new ways of being. And gently moving that left knee a little bit. Some micro movements. Noticing sensations. And releasing that left knee. Coming back to center. And we're going to move into, I'm going to get my cushion. If you have a blanket or a cushion or a block, a supported bridge. I like using this little cushion. Just lifting those hips up. Bring that right under the sacrum, buttocks, and resting it back down. Just resting in this bridge, this supported bridge, just a very slight bridge. You can bring those feet wider, bring the knees together and relax. You can use a blanket or a block to allow the body to relax using no effort, but enjoying this slight back bend. Breathing into the belly. Fully present to the self. That pure consciousness that's animating through the body. That eternal being. One more breath here. And lifting those hips up and removing that cushion. Coming back down. Let's bring the knees into the chest. And rock back and forth a little bit. Let's open up the knees. Let's bring the feet up so they're facing the sky. You can grab your hands around the outside of the feet and gently pulling the knees into the armpits, into our baby. Couple breaths here. Deep belly breaths. The lumbar spine, the lower back is flat on the earth. The buttocks doesn't lift up in this. And releasing into happy baby, rolling around, kicking the feet. Feeling those nice stretch. Allowing yourself to be like that baby. And releasing those legs down, feet on the mat, knees are up. We're going to move into some releases. So bringing those hands right on both of your hips here. We're going to swivel those hips, keeping that back flat on the earth. So you feel that right hip go down towards the right heel as the left hip comes up towards the left armpit. And we're going to swivel and switch. The right hip comes up to the armpit, left hip goes down to the left heel. Everything stays flat on the mat, nothing lifts up. Just feeling these nice slow movements, noticing sensation as we release and relax this lower back. Keeping the breath flowing, fully connected to the body and sensations. Awareness of the body and the sensations brings in a deeper sense of embodiment, so that this pure conscious awareness, this divine being that you are, can more powerfully, more intentionally create in this physical realm. Keeping the breath flowing, coming back to center, and move into some hip pointers, pointing that left hip up, keeping the right hip rooted in the mat, and releasing down. Rooting that left hip into the mat as you lift the right hip up. And finding your edge here, you might want to go a little lower, a little further up. Swinging back and forth. Noticing sensations. Keeping that breath flowing. Coming back to center. Let's do a little cat-cow on the mat, on our backs. As you go into cat, you can feel the small of the mat, the back press into the earth as you tuck the tailbone under. As you go into cow, feel that lower back, that lumbar spine arch up off the mat. Your back may still be on the earth, but that spine is arched up off the earth. Moving back and forth in flexion and extension, cat, cow, keeping the breath flowing. And then coming back to center, you'll walk those feet out to the wide edges of the mat, keeping the knees up. And we're going to drop one knee at a time into the center. One knee at a time. Finding your edge here. Staying in the feel so good. Keeping the breath flowing. And coming back to center, walking those feet back together. Our last move, release, dropping both knees to one side. And you can either windshield wiper them by bringing them both together side to side, double knee drop or lifting the top knee up. It's a little gentler on the back and allowing the bottom to come and follow. And that becomes the top knee, lifting the top knee up and allowing the other to follow. And continuing for a few more times. You want to go back and forth from windshield, taking turns. I'm going to shut this door. It's like they're working on the roads or something. And coming back to center, let's bring those knees into the chest. One final release of the lower back, rocking back and forth. And bringing those legs out. And finding our Savasana position, finding a comfortable position. I like to bring the feet a little wider, the arms a little out, body, palms up, feet going out. That's a receptive pose. Allowing the body to sink deeply into the earth, letting go all tension. Release all holding of the muscles. Just relax into the earth. Feel the earth holding you and supporting you. With that acknowledgement of the earth's support, we can allow the body to release into the earth even more. Let go of even more little micro pockets of tension in our body. Whole body relaxing, sinking into the earth. Feel the bones coming down towards the earth. The muscles, the whole body. Relaxing all systems within the body, including the brain, the spine, the central nervous system. Allowing even the brain and the mind to relax. Let go. Bask and merge in relaxation and stillness as we rest in a few moments of silence. Beginning to breathe into the belly as you begin to come back. And all the energies of this practice integrated, mind, body, spirit, into your being. enlivening you, embodying you with vitality, life force energy, healing, balance, vibrant health, and wellness. Your mind alert, body relaxed, beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes, stretching out the arms and legs. So we've stretched our bodies, stretched our mind, our consciousness, and gently rolling over to one side, taking a breath here, and coming up to a seated position. And take this moment now to check in again, scanning the body, the whole being, noticing any shifts from the beginning of practice, emotional, mental, spiritual, the vibrational, inner being, physical. Honoring all aspects of the self, where you're at right now. Noticing the inner aliveness, pulsations, the pulsation of the heart, vibrations, trembling, energy moving, cool or heat. And taking yourself back now to that intention that you set and reinforcing that in your consciousness. What we focus on expands. Everything that we want to create in the physical needs to be created first in the mental and emotional realm, and lastly in the physical. So creating it, firming it up into the mental and emotional realms as you set that intention, feeling the emotions of having that now. And coming back, sending that intention off to the universe, this or better, this or better. And we will conclude with a namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Yin Asana. I am Grace. Please check out EcstaticYoga.Studios for our yoga teacher trainings. and retreats. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.